Welcome to part 2. It's officially time to cut into this beautiful cake. Before I start, I'm going to take off all of the toppers and decor, and then I'm going to take a large knife, run it under hot water, and start slicing my way through the cake. After each slice, I will place that slice on a cutting board or a piece of parchment paper and leave it flat on the countertop. This is considered a banquet style cake cutting, and you are able to get so many slices out of one cake. A question I get asked all the time is, why do I like to do so many tall cakes? And this is the main reason, is I'm able to get so many different slices of cake. I'm able to cut it into different sizes, and the cake doesn't take up that much space being a tall, skinny cake. So now that I've cut all of the slices, I am wrapping up any of the leftovers. This way I can put it in the fridge or the freezer and take it out when I'm ready to snack on some. Look at this beautiful cake. It turned out absolutely beautiful and most of all, so delicious. Hey you guys, today I'm going to show you how to make an ombre styled cake. The fun thing about these cakes is that you can do any color and work this with any theme. And if you know me, I am one that likes to be efficient and have as little cleanup as possible at the end. And so for this, I'm only using one bowl. So I have the dark colored frosting in that bowl. And then once I've applied that first section of the color, I'm then just going to add some white to that bowl that I already have. And this will help achieve that same tone of frosting, but just get it a little bit lighter. So if you've seen an ombre cake before, the goal is to have a gradual change in color, and usually it goes from dark to light. So I'm going to use that same technique and get another lighter color blue by just adding more white to the frosting, and I'm going to apply that. And then once I'm done applying that frosting, I will start to smooth it out with my cake scraper. This is my favorite cake comb that I use. It is an extra large stainless steel cake comb and scraper. I love it so much because you can clean off that excess frosting, and then you can also run it under hot water or put it over a heating element, and it really helps work out those fine lines and little hard to get spots in your frosting. And so after I'm done scraping that frosting, I'll go over it just to make sure I've worked out any imperfections. Then I will get my little offset spatula and then trim off that crown of frosting around the top. Then once I'm done scraping that frosting off, I will go put it in the freezer for a few more minutes, and then I will apply my toppers, and that cake is ready to go. Hey you guys, today I'm going to show you my process that I use after I'm done baking my cakes. I'll let my cakes cool in the cake pan for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then once those cakes are cooled off, I will take a knife, level that on top of the pan, and then go around the cake and cut off any rounded cake top. And yes, I do know there are multiple ways to bake a level cake, but I personally like doing it this way. I've always done it because those cake tops are absolutely delicious. I love to test them and share them with my kids. Once I'm done, I will put a cake board on top of that cake in the pan, then flip that over, remove the cake pan, and my cake is setting perfectly on that cake board. Once that's done, I will cut the cake layers in half so I have 2 equal cake layers, place a piece of parchment in the middle of those so they don't stick together, and then put the cake in the freezer for about 3 to 5 hours until I'm ready to decorate. Hey you guys, today I've been craving something really chocolatey, and so I thought, what better way to satisfy this craving than to do it with my triple chocolate mousse cake. So that's what we're gonna do. I actually baked these cakes last night and they've been in the freezer ever since then. So these cakes are frozen while I'm filling them. and I am using my triple chocolate cake layers, and then in the middle of those I have my semi-sweet chocolate ganache as well as my chocolate mousse. Once I'm done filling the cake, I'm going to apply that final cake layer, make sure everything is stabilized, and then I'm going to use my leftover chocolate ganache and apply that over the entire surface of the cake. The best part of this chocolate ganache is if you let it set out for a little bit, it will start to thicken and you can use it just like you would a regular frosting. And so I'm using my icing spatula and my cake scraper to make the design how I want it. And for this cake, I'm making a rough textured exterior. And then for the top, I'm topping it off with my chocolate mousse. Once I'm done, I'm going to top the cake off with some chocolate chips, and then I'm going to set that aside to allow everything to set up, and I'll be cutting into the cake here in just a little bit. So come back for part 2 if you want to see how to cut this cake. You guys want to know how to make the most delicious buttercream frosting? Let's jump into it. It starts with our butter. Make sure that your butter is soft but still somewhat cold to the touch. We cream that on a medium-high speed for about 2 to 3 minutes to allow it to get creamy and silky, kind of like a creamy peanut butter consistency. Add in your vanilla extract and then slow your mixer down. Add in all of the powdered sugar, and then you're going to add small increments of heavy cream until you've hit your desired consistency. As you start to mix and everything mixes together, you can up the speed to your mixer to allow everything to get silky and smooth, and it will make that frosting really creamy. Mix until you've hit your desired consistency. You can also run a spatula through your frosting to test that out. Once you're done, remove that from your mixer, scrape down your paddle attachment, and then I also like to scrape down the bowl one more time just to make sure everything is well incorporated. Once that's done, you can store your frosting in an airtight container or a pastry bag. You can keep it at room temperature for a few hours, or you can also store it in your fridge for up to a few weeks. Now I need to know, what would you use this frosting on? An easy way to do a drip on a cake is to use a pastry bag. Melt your candy melt or ganache in a cup and transfer it once it's melted into a pastry bag. This way you can control how far the drip goes down and the thickness of it.